This is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here with a little video on our friend Azriel Clary. And for those of you who don't know who Azriel Clary is, she is one of the former girlfriends of R&B singer Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as R. Kelly. And so Azriel lived with him up until what was it, like November of 2019, I believe it was. And then in January of 2020, she decided to start working with the feds. Some people say she was already working with the feds, but she officially came out as working with the feds. And Azriel ended up with him because she was pursuing a musical career. And, you know, her family claimed that that is not how she ended up there, that he preyed on her, blah, blah, blah. But we all know that she put herself in his presence with the hopes that he would sign her and write music for her and, you know, make her a sensation, okay, a musical sensation. It didn't turn out that way. He was arrested, and then she turned state's evidence, worked with the feds, testified against him, and now he is convicted on all charges. And you guys can go back into my R. Kelly series to get all the information on this case. But I believe that 99% of the people watching this video are very familiar with who Azriel is. Hold on a second, I got something in my eye. I tell you guys, I have been struggling with my left eye. I don't know if I got stung underneath my eye, but I woke up one day and the bottom part of my eye was swollen, and you guys could probably see like a lot of wrinkles or lines right under the eye right here. And it's where the swelling went down, and so there's excess skin there. But every morning when I wake up, it's gotten hard and there's dead skin, and I keep, you know, scraping the dead skin away. But right now there is a hair in my eye. There. Okay. But anyway, the eye is irritated, so if it looks weird to you guys, that's what it is. So anyway, where was I with Azriel? So we know the back history. Most of the people watching this video is very familiar with who she is. Well, last night I was bored, okay? And so I was sitting there, you know, going through Instagram, going through YouTube, just trying to see, you know, what trending topics are going on, what people are talking about. And so I came across this interview that Azriel did. I'm not sure when the interview was done, because some of the things that she speaks about in the interview we know happened in the past, but then some of the things that she's talking about is forward thinking. So I'm assuming that the trial ended in September. So I am going to assume that she did this interview probably in October or November of last year. So around that time. And she talks about Michael Williams in this interview. So I can't remember when he was sentenced. Was he sentenced in like November maybe? So towards the end of the year, Azriel did this interview. So the interview is on a podcast called Forbidden Fruits. And the host is someone named Julia Fox, who I'm pretty sure is not the famous Julia Fox who is now dating Kanye West. At least I hope it is not her. And then someone named Nikki Tesh. So whoever these two white chicks are, they were kind of annoying, had that, that Valley Girl feel to them. You know how they talk, right? So it was some of that going on. And so it was making it kind of hard for me to get into the interview. But we'll get into some of the things that they talked about. But basically, one of them, I guess, was in a mentally abusive relationship. So she really relates to Azriel. And I thought it was funny because even though she relates to Azriel and what Azriel claimed that she went through about being brainwashed and manipulated and all this other garbage and nonsense, the chick still wanted Azriel to capitalize off her situation and telling her that she needs to make as much money off of this story as she can because, once the story dies down, nobody's going to care, right? So I was like, okay, girl, make up your mind. Either you care about women being abused or you don't care. And that's the dilemma with the whole Me Too movement. Me Too, I've said this 1,000 times and I'm going to say it 1,000 more times. Me Too, Time's Up, all these other organizations, they, believe women. None of that is about the woman who is, taking the trash out to the alley late one night because the garbage man comes in the morning and somebody, grabs her and drags her back in the house and rapes her. It's not about, a young person being stalked and, and snatched off the street and, horrible things happen to her. It's not about the college student who gets gang raped or anything like that. That's not what any of these organizations are about. They are about, securing financial power from men. They want a shift in power. And so they are pushing this narrative. And I always tell people, and I know women hate when I say this, but on one hand, you can't be talking about how smart and powerful women are, and then in the very next sentence talk about how stupid women are and how easily manipulated they are and how men take advantage of them. Because if you're strong, smart, and powerful, then you can see through game and not put yourself in situations where you're going to be manipulated and whatever else you claim that's going on. And men are going to talk you into having sex, to get an advantage on your career and that type of thing. No. Either you're smart and you're doing the stuff because you're calculating, or you're dumb and you're easily manipulated. Like, there has to be some balance, like which one is it going to be? So anyway, the girl on this Forbidden Fruits, and I wish I could remember whether it was the Julia Fox or the Nikki chick, but she was really grating on my nerves. Like, oh, we know what you went through. No, girl, it had to be horrible. Oh my God, I really wanted this interview. Oh my God, I'm just so glad. I was like, I have got to interview her. And after you went on the Gayle King show, then that's what they opened up with, was comparing when Azriel and Jocelyn went on the Gayle King show, the CBS morning show with Gayle King. When they went on there the first time versus when Azriel went back on there after the trial and the conviction, and basically saying that, oh, we knew you were lying. We knew he was in the other room. Oh, girl, I'm so glad you found the strength to come out and tell your story. I was just like, come on, like, give me a break. So anyway, let's get into what they talked about in this interview. So they started out talking about, the love of music and, asking Azriel, does she still love music? And she says that, music has always been an outlet for her. And now that all of this is over with, she can fall in love with music again. She's learning to love music all over again. And then they asked her, was you shook when you realized you were free? Now, they act like the girl was being held captive in a room in chains, and that one day that she broke the chains loose and ran outside and saw the sunshine for the first day. Like, this is really how they were carrying on in this interview. And so Azriel, talked about going to therapy. She's been in therapy for 2 years, and she kept repeating that. And it kind of made me think that she had talking points, because I'm sure she was on the phone during this interview, and it was like she had talking points that she always went back to when she really didn't have the answer for the question. And so she said that going back on the Gayle King, having another interview with Gayle King, really brought everything full circle, that it was surreal. And she said that Gayle saw her as a grown woman, whereas I guess the first time she saw her as this little girl who was being manipulated and being told what to do. But then Gayle, looked at her as a grown woman, in her own right at this point, and treated her as such. And she says that, she's reclaiming her power. And then the girls was like, oh, and we've been rooting for you for a long time. We've just really been waiting on you to come out, girl. And okay, anyway. So she says that her life has changed. Let's see, freedom. She says that her life has really changed. She now has the freedom to come and go as she pleases and to do what she wants. And, basically she's focusing on her music. And they asked her if she was scared after she left and turned on R. Kelly. And basically she said that she wasn't scared, that it was kind of different. And they asked her what were the coolest things that she's done, since she broke free. And she said that she went to Ghana for 2.5 weeks and that she collaborated with several artists while she was in Ghana. And she says that if the music that she did in Ghana gets released, it'll be released in the spring of 2022. Then she says she went to Ghana, but she didn't really talk about what she did in Ghana. And y'all know what Tasha K said she was doing in Ghana. She was making some money in Ghana. Not Ghana, but Dubai. That she was making money in Dubai. Discreetly making money in Dubai. And then the women were talking about how they were following her on Instagram and looking at all her pictures and videos when she was in Dubai. She seemed to be having a great time. And I was really confused because the only pictures I saw the girl post when she was in Dubai was she was at a McDonald's at the airport. And I remember saying to myself, like, girl, you went all the way to Dubai and the best you can do is, was it McDonald's or was it Kentucky Fried Chicken? It was like some popular fast food restaurant in America that she was like posting the receipt to like show people that she was actually in Dubai. And then I think she might have posted like a picture like looking out the window and the skyline and that type of thing. But I didn't remember her posting any like videos and stuff. So not sure if she sent these chicks some videos to verify where she had been or what was going on. And then they asked her about dating, and she says that she doesn't have a boyfriend and she's not dating, that she's really absorbed in herself right now and learning who she is all over again. And then I put a note, these dumb broads, because they were really, really getting on my nerves, y'all. It was like so simple. And then they were talking about being in a relationship is not a crime. And I can't remember what they were, being in a relationship isn't a crime. I think they were saying that being in a relationship with somebody, the type of relationship she was in with an older man, younger woman, that it really isn't a crime. It was the way she was treated while she was in the relationship. I think that's what they were going with that. And then they asked her, how was she maintaining after getting out? And once again, they act like the girl was clanked up, locked up in a prison and couldn't come and go as she pleased, which we know she was able to do because even during her alleged captivity, she was still flying home, going back and forth to visit her parents and that type of thing. And so she said that so she was saying that maintaining after getting out, she spent a lot of time with friends, family, the therapist. She kept mentioning the therapist who was actually in New York. So I guess they're doing like the teletherapy where they're calling each other on Zoom and talking. And then her many supporters have helped her get through. And then she talked about how she was prohibited or forbidden from having social media. Then we know is a lie because she did the video saying that she's always had social media and she was always able to communicate with her friends, right? And then it came out in court when she testified that she had access to social media and was able to communicate with her friends while she was living with R. Kelly. And she says that she doesn't miss the life with R. Kelly, and she swears she's been in therapy. Like I said, she keeps talking about the therapy for 2 years, and that they asked her, would she go back? Do you ever think about, like, if R. Kelly was out of jail and he wanted her to come back, would she consider going back? And the one lady who had gone through the whole situation that she says where she felt like she was manipulated and in an abusive relationship, she said that the reason she was asking Azriel Clary is because it's very common for women to go back to their abusers. And she said, you know, even in her situation, I think at some point, like, you think you really love this person, you want to go back, you realize that life really ain't that much better without that person, and maybe the things that they were doing wasn't as severe as you thought it was. And, you know, sort of speaking along those lines, like, you know, maybe going back would be good. And then you miss the money, you miss the gifts. But Azriel said that, you know, she ain't going back. She wouldn't go back for anything in the world. And then they went on to tell her that she's such a light and an inspiration, and that she, you know, meeting her was not like what they thought it was going to be, that she was very bubbly and upbeat and easy to talk to. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, the girl is still delusional. We know, you know, how manipulative she is. So, of course, she's on there, you know, giggling and carrying on. And I wouldn't be surprised if she'd had a couple of drinks or whatever before she went on there. And then they talked about her age when she met him. And so they started out talking about how she was 17. And then the one chick was like, oh, but you were much younger when you first met him. And she didn't correct the lady. And I'm like, no, the heifer was 17 when she met him. Like, let's not make the situation any worse than it already is. And then they wanted to know, how did it affect her seeing her family when she left the situation? And she was like that she couldn't say much about it. She didn't have social media, so she didn't. Oh, and then they asked her, back up. I'm going ahead of myself. So they asked her, what was it like reconnecting with her family once she was set free? And we know she was not set free, that she basically booked her trip home to Florida, left the Trump Tower, caught the flight, and went home and did a whole photo shoot. Y'all remember the photo shoot, right? So she was okay going home. So then she said that, you know, her family and everybody embraced her as if she hadn't been gone. Nobody focused on, you know, asking her questions about what happened, you know, while she was with him. Like, they just wanted to, you know, embrace her and help her, you know, reacclimate herself back into society, I guess. And she had been locked up, right? Chained to the wall and carried on the way they're trying to make this situation seem. So then they started talking to her about social media, people talking about her on social media, saying negative things about her, you know, things that are written about her in the tabloids. And she went on, you know, that's when she reiterated that she didn't have access to social media. They didn't read tabloids while they were with Mr. Kelly. So she didn't know about any of that stuff. And she's pretty much taken that same behavior into her new life. She doesn't really read comments, which we know is a lie, because she be commenting on stuff in her comment section. And we know that she has responded, you know, to things that people have said on Twitter, but she claims that she doesn't really do social media. She doesn't read tabloids. She never reads the comments that people leave. And then she also talked about, oh my God, when she was talking about social media, I think she said she only uses social media to post about her music. She doesn't use it to socialize or, you know, share images and pictures of her personal life. She only uses it, you know, to promote her music. And then she talked about being the baby of the family. And so she was always, I guess, spoiled and privileged. And that now that she's free, that they spent the holidays with her at her home. So she says she has a home. I thought, girl, you was living in an apartment, but she says she has a home and that her family came to Atlanta to spend the holidays with her. And she says that they keep her grounded and working on her music. Like that is her central focus. And let's see. Oh, and then she said that, you know, getting back into her music was hard in the beginning because she had mental blockage. She said she left as a baby and came back a grown woman, and she's a businesswoman and an artist, and that's what they appreciate about her. But she also has social anxiety, so she doesn't go out much. But we've seen, you know, pictures at the club, girl. We done seen you at the hookah bar and carrying on. But she say she stay in the house, child, because she got social anxiety. Oh, and she says that she has to relearn a lot, that she wasn't so bubbly and energetic when she was with R. Kelly. But we know that to be a lot too, Azriel, because we have seen the video, girl. We have seen the pictures. So we know that you are the same person today that you were when you was living with that man. And what else did she say? Oh, they asked her, did she have issues with intimacy? And she says that it was really hard and I got through it. She said you couldn't pay me to leave her family again. So I think when they were talking about intimacy, Azriel, they was talking about sex. S-E-X. Okay, girl. They want to know if you hooking up with men now that you are no longer with Mr. Kelly, and you turned it around and made it seem like they was talking about being intimate with your family and how you would never leave your family again. And then they asked her, what would she say to someone who had been through a similar situation as her? And she says that it's okay to leave something that doesn't serve you. Always put yourself first. And we know, girl, that you could have left if you wanted to. And then they said, oh, then the girl asked her, why does she have wifey on her IG page? Because, you know, if you go to Azriel page, and, you know, when you put the information about yourself, she has wifey. And we know that wifey is that song that she did where she was basically, I guess it was like a, oh my God, like, I'm so tired. It was a diss track to R. Kelly where basically she's saying he should have got rid of Jocelyn and made Azriel his wife and he wouldn't be going through what he's going through, right? Anyway, she says that Wifey was a part of her EP project, but she also uses it to keep guys out of her DM. So if guys see Wifey on her IG page or her social media pages, that they won't try to talk to her because they'll think she's in a relationship. She was literally making it up as she was going, y'all. And then they circled back to the whole relationship question, you know, saying, are you really not in a relationship right now? And Azriel says that she's being unapologetically selfish, focusing on herself. She says that the relationships will come, and by the time she's 25. And then I was sitting there thinking, girl, ain't you about 25? Like, well, how old did Azriel just turn in December? Did she turn 24? She was born in, when was that girl born? When was she born in? 97, 2007, 2017. So Azriel will be 25 this year. Maybe she didn't understand that. But she says that, you know, a relationship isn't something she's looking to get into right now, but maybe by the time she turned 25, she'll be ready for a relationship. So men, if y'all interested in Azriel, she is looking for a relationship this year because I believe she turns 25 this year. And then the goofy lady was basically telling her, no, girl, not 25. Like, you free. You know, you're young. You single, girl. You know, wait till you're about 30 to be trying to get into a relationship. She was trying to help her out, you know, let her know, girl, you're really close to 25 right now. And then she says that she sees herself. Oh, then they asked her what are her plans, her career plans for the future. Like, what does she see as far as a music career? And basically, she read off R. Kelly's resume, right? She was like, I want to be a producer. I want to be a songwriter. I want to collaborate, you know, with people in the industry. I want to, write hits for people. I want to make my own music. I'm just like, okay, girl, you just want to be R. Kelly. Like, you haven't gotten over this fantasy that that's what you're going to do. And then homegirls with the name dropping and saying that her biggest dream is to collaborate with Beyonce, y'all. She will make some music with Beyonce. I don't think Beyonce would be down for that, Azriel. And then she says that she wants to do editorial work with Tom Ford and work with undiscovered talent to help, boost their career. I'm like, you can't boost your own career right now. How you gonna help somebody else boost their career? But that's her ambitions, guys. She wants to be a writer. She wants to be a songwriter. She wants to produce music. She wants to make music. She wants to do collaborations with people like Beyonce. She wants to do editorial work, write for Tom Ford in, working with undiscovered talent. And then this is where she talked about using social media as work and just a marketing tool for her up and coming projects. And then the goofy girl said, oh girl, you should do something like Summer Walker and do your album from the heart, all about your relationship while you was with Mr. Kelly. And they was like, now is the opportunity. You need to be pulling some stunts to get noticed. Do whatever it takes, girl. Use that situation to put your name out there and get your music out there. Like, don't be trying to do no new stuff that ain't nobody looking for. Like, people are going to buy your stuff if you're talking about R. Kelly. Okay, that's the only way they're going to buy your stuff, girl. Like, that was basically the advice that Nikki and Julia gave to Azriel. Like, stunt, girl. Create some stunts off of what has happened in your life and write your music about that. And so she said that she do talk a lot about what she's gone through in her music, but she's more about allowing her personality to come out. Basically, she wants people to love and respect her and like her music because she's Azriel Clary, not because she is the former of R. Kelly. Okay. What else did she say? Oh, then they asked her to sing something. They was like, oh, well, can you give us a sample? Like, sing a little bit for us. And she said that she can't share any of her lyrics. I'm like, girl, this interview is supposed to be about publicity, getting your music out there. You can't be shy. Then it reminded me of when Nicki Minaj was hosting the reunion for the Real Housewives of Potomac. And she told Candace to sing a portion of her song, and Candace didn't want to sing the song, and everybody said that, like, girl, there's millions of people watching this show. You don't know, like, Nikki has a production company or record label. Like, what are you doing? Get to singing. But Azriel didn't want to sing. She was just like Candace. She didn't want to sing. She didn't want to put it out there. Now, what else? Oh, she says she can't share any of her lyrics on their show, but she will have an intimate listening party in Atlanta. But she didn't say when, for when she releases her music. She told them that she has a big team backing her. She said she has agents and publicists and engineers and producers and writers. And then she started talking about the success before, the whole meeting R. Kelly, that she's pretty much familiar with the music industry, and, her career was already, she was on track with her music career. And then I guess she got side reel when she got involved with Mr. Kelly. And I must say, and I think I talked about this before, how I came across that interview that she did with this radio station in 2013, where she was getting ready to go to LA to do a music video for some song that she had put out. And then I guess it didn't turn out the way that she wanted to when they went to California. And that's maybe when she started plotting to meet R. Kelly, or I don't know what happened with that project. But in that interview, she was very confident, very, sure that she had this song that was a hit and they were going to do this music video, and then we didn't hear anything else from her until we found out that she was staying with R. Kelly. Let's see. And then she said that she went into the situation with R. Kelly thinking that she was going to sing, and that she never, what did she say? And he never, oh, she went to the situation thinking that he was going to make her a singer and that she was going to sing with him, but he never sang with her. He never signed her or anything like that. And then they asked her, was it scary to go back into the music booth? She says that she literally drinks before going into the studio. That producers, she literally drinks before going into the studio. Then she turned around and said that she doesn't go to the studio, that the producers come to her house. They set everything up in her house, and she, sings and records from her home with her team there with her. She says that she lights candles and sets the mood. And then they asked her what scent candle does she prefer. And then she stuttered and was like, oh, I only use unscented candles. So I'm like, okay, girl. And then she started talking about her voice, and I don't know what the scented candles do to her. Then they asked her what was her favorite song, I guess from her EP. She said what was her favorite song, period. And she said currently something by Ye. And then they got into a discussion about, oh, you call him Ye or Ye. Then she said, well, he did officially change his name to Ye or Ye, however you guys want to pronounce it, Y-E. And then she says her all-time favorite singer is Sade. So, girl, why you don't want to go make a song with Sade? Why are you trying to collaborate with Beyonce? Like, most people want to collaborate with their all-time favorite singer, right? And let's see. Oh, and then they told her that the direction of her music needs a sexy moment to reclaim her sexuality. Because I think she was saying she didn't want to do music that was, over sexualized. And it was like, once again, telling her, no, girl, you need to capitalize on this situation. If you was over there getting freak nasty with R. Kelly, we need to see some of that in the video, in the song that you're singing. Them chicks was off the chain. And then they asked her what was the sound of her music. Like, once we finally get to hear her music, what can we anticipate? She says that it's alternative R&B. I don't know what that is. And that she sounds a lot like SZA and Summer Walker. And did she say Lizzo? Like, she mentioned another popular singer that she says that she sounds like. And that's what, her music sounds like. And then they asked her if she could go back and change anything, what would it be? And she says, if I could go back, I would only change meeting that person. And she wouldn't say his name. She says, then again, I don't really regret it because it has made me a voice for other people. And then she started talking about, her work she's done in the community with helping other people overcome what they've gone through and working with this therapist. And she said the name of the therapist, I guess the therapist has like an organization where she helps people. And so she says that, even though she regrets meeting Mr. Kelly, that in hindsight, it helped build her up as to who she is today. It's motivated her to pursue her music. And then they asked her again about, like, do you be reading the comments, girl, that people be leaving? And she says, I don't go looking for comments. People around me support me and go out of their way to be kind. And that's what she's focusing on, not what people, negative things that people have to say about her who don't support her. Then they was telling her, she said that she's writing a memoir about, her life and what she's going through, and, creating albums and writing music that people will be able to relate to. She says that the name of her company is 555 Productions. company, and I don't know what the 555 stands for. Y'all know what it, if you know what 555, what's the significance of them 3 5s, y'all let me know in the comments. She wants to do visual illustrations and documentaries through this production company. Everything that she does is going to be, I guess in the beginning, is going to be about her life, all these documentaries and visuals. And she says that it's okay with being vulnerable, and how all of her visuals will drop. They'll be raw and uncut, so people will get to see, you know, her true essence and her true emotions. And then they had the living audacity to tell this girl that they believe that when she puts out her documentary about her life and what she's gone through with R. Kelly, that it will be Nobel Peace Prize worthy. Okay. I was just like, why is y'all boosting this girl up like this? I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible, but child, they tried it. Then she said that, and this is where I got confused about when this interview actually took place, y'all, because she says that she has 3 visuals that will drop in December. And here we are approaching February. Y'all seen the visuals? Y'all tell me what the visuals at. I want to go see the visuals. Is it them little short videos that she doing where you can't never really see, you know, with the smoke and the mirrors and all that? Is that what she's talking about? Like the intro is coming, it's coming, it's coming. Is that what she's talking about when she said the visuals are going to drop in December? I don't know. Y'all let me know. And let's see. Then she says that the name for her EP, which is dropping in spring of 2022, is titled The Blast from the Past. And then they was trying to make like a play on what blast from the past could mean. Like, oh, you about to blow up despite your past? Or like what does, and we never did get a clear answer on what the significance of that title is. And then they asked her, does she get recognized when she's out in public? And she says, yes. People come up and they hug her. They say that they're proud of her and that she's made a huge impact on their lives, I guess, and on society. And then they asked her if she get the chance to rewrite your life or legacy, like what would she do differently? She says she can't change the past and that she's only focused on the future. She says that she don't follow the shade room. Azriel, you might not follow the shade room, but your daddy sure follow the shade room, because every time they post about you, girl, he be right up in there. And I think I've seen a couple of posts where you done thank people for their kind comments about you in the shade room. But basically, she says she don't follow the shade room because she ain't got time for negativity. And then they asked her, what is the day in the life of Azriel Clary like? And she says, she wakes up in the morning, she does a workout, she leaves to go grab a smoothie, and then she comes back home and she attends meetings. And then she says by noon, she have photo shoots and collaborations with different brands. And then at night, she's in the studios and she writes her own songs, and that read or write. And then they asked her, what does she do when she has writer's block? And she says that she usually reads and writes. Now, writer's block usually mean the words not coming for you to write. So, okay. She says she read and write when she got writer's block. I know when I have writer's block, I do everything but write. I'm watching TV, I'm reading books, I'm doing YouTube videos, I'm doing everything but typing on this laptop or writing something down on a piece of paper. But anyway, that's what she said. And let's see. Oh, they asked her who were the biggest people who have reached out to her. She says that she wouldn't name drop, but that she does have a lot of support from the industry, and that she's constantly being invited to parties, and the industry people are reaching out to her, and that she was so surprised that so many people have gravitated to her since all of this has happened. And then they said, how do you not have the urge to Google? Because I mean, girl, they was trying to find out, like, girl, you talking about you ain't on social media, you talk about you ain't reading the blogs. Like, how are you trying to be famous and not paying attention to what people are saying about you. And she said that the pressure of social media is so abnormal and that she wasn't able to do it, I guess, when she was with R. Kelly, so she don't have the need or the urge now. And she says that I still have a life. I walk my dog. I be with my family. And basically, like, she doesn't need social media. And then they asked her about belief. I can't remember what she said about belief. She might have skipped over the belief question because they did definitely ask her about belief. And let's see. Then they talked about the car situation blowing up. And she said that she can't, she's not allowed to talk about the car situation. I don't know why she can't talk about it. But she did say that, it was a traumatic experience that had happened late at night. I guess they were gone to bed. And, they were startled by what was taking place outside. And she says that she was really happy that the person behind it was sentenced. And I was really surprised that they didn't try to go deeper into trying to make that connection between Mr. Kelly and the Michael Williams guy. And maybe she cut them off with the, I can't talk about that situation because she might reveal a little more that she wants to reveal. Like, she knew R. Kelly had nothing to do with that, and that the reason that man blew that car up was because Cash sent him to blow it up to get back at her daddy. I don't know, but she got off that subject real quick. And then, she talked about belief was her protection, that belief protects her. I don't know how that little tiny dog. And then they asked her, I think they asked her what kind of dog it was. No, they asked her, does the dog protect her? And then she let them know that Belief was a Pomeranian, that he's a little tiny dog. And let's see. Then they talked about her moving. And she said she had to change how she moved, and she relocated to get out of Florida, to get a fresh start. And she had to change how she moves and get around. She said, Florida is where I'm from, so it was sad and heartbreaking to have to leave. She says, well, she's in the A now, referring to Atlanta, with the people around me who act as my anchors. And that she believes in 360-degree and the power of manifesting. And so she's trying to manifest the life that she wants now. And then they asked her, do you ever get scared you'll run into people that support him and that, they're going to cuss you out or whatever? And she said that she used to be afraid to meet people for that reason. But she has to be true to herself and own what she went through and own what it is that she wants for the future. And then she talked about her best friend from high school, who I believe is the girl Malika, whatever, who testified in the court case. And she says that they're still friends and very close, and that she, has been a big inspiration in her life. And then she said that whoever the friend was, I don't think she ever said the name, but she said that that person has started their own brand of something called the Lord's Ball. But I can't remember what the Lord's Ball is, but y'all Google it on IG because that's the IG handle. The Lord, Lord, as a ball. Let's see. And I think she talked about she had stopped talking to the best friend for a few years. But when they reconnected, she never made her feel, any type of way. She embraced her, and that, she's been a great role model. And then she said that whoever this friend is a Virgo, and that Virgos are so sweet. And I can agree with that, Azriel, because I am a Virgo girl. And even though you be getting on my nerves, I don't drag you on my channel. I just be pointing out some of the stuff you be doing and your inconsistencies. So yes, Virgos are very kind and sweethearted people. And then they asked her how hard was it reconnecting with people, and she just, reiterated that everyone treated her normal because she really didn't have to reconnect because she was going home to visit her family when she wasn't in the basement. And she says it was like we never spent a second apart because y'all didn't. And then she talked about going on a trip to Miami with her friends, and then the people took the narrative that was depicted, and now people are getting to know her. And then she talked about her music again, and said that December we would hear the single, and we ain't heard the single. However, I did come across a song that Azriel released last summer. Did y'all know Azriel released a song last summer? I didn't know, and ain't nobody tell me, okay? But the song is called Heartbroke Free. And it's a collaboration with a guy named Gayle. And then I searched Gayle, and Gayle is a wannabe music producer, writer, everything that Azriel wants to be. And he also sings, and I believe that when he was younger, he was signed with Atlantic Records, I believe, but I guess his career didn't take off. And then I thought it was very interesting. Based on his pictures, he looked like somebody that I've seen in when Azriel be posting her little pictures and images where she call herself in the studio and making music. He does look like somebody that's in one of those images. And I did find it interesting that he deleted his social media back in December, I believe it was. And he doesn't, like all the website references, you know, everything that I could pull up on this Gayle. He doesn't mention Azriel, doesn't mention working with her, doesn't mention this song. I don't know how much traction the song got. Papa Angelo posted the song on his Twitter account, and I think maybe 5 people liked the tweet. So I don't know how much traction the song got. It was released August 20th, 2021. It's on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Music. It's on all the streaming devices, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of traction for the song. I don't recall her ever talking about the song or marketing the song. I don't know what that's all about. And so Azriel, if you got all these industry people behind you and supporting you and reaching out to you, then you need to be talking to these people about marketing your music. Don't just drop the music and think that because it says Azriel Clary that people are going to buy it and support it. They got to first know that it is out there. And you can't just post, oh, I released a song on Spotify today. Like, you got to keep drumming it up, talking about it, you know, letting people know that the music is out there. You got to play tidbits on your social media, girl. Like, what you doing? So did y'all know that Azriel had this song out called Heartbroke Free? Let me know in the comments. And so that's pretty much it for me in this interview that I thought of. The interview was interesting to me. Well, not interesting to me, but I was interested in knowing that there was an interview and to find that Azriel really is saying the same thing that she has always said. And she didn't do any name dropping about who these people are that's, you know, reaching out to her and embracing her and helping her with her music. But, you know, she's saying spring of 2022 that this song is coming, or this EP that she's working on is coming out. So Azriel, we're going to look for the EP. And then she says that these people that she was collaborating with in Ghana, that if that music gets released, it's going to be released in the spring of 2022 also. So guys, that's it for me. Go ahead, leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And let me know if you are checking for Azriel's music. Or do you guys think that her opportunity to be famous and to be recognized and to have this music career that she's always dreamed of, that it's not going to happen, or you think that eventually it will happen? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.